got you. I'm Hank. Welcome to Hamiltonville Farm. In a previous video, I showed you how the Titan stump bucket took out the oak tree stump that we had out here. So I want to show you the how we leveled it out after we got the stump. Remember in the video, I told you I was going to bring the box blade and the bucket back out here. Well, if you can see, I don't know, Gina, can you get that? You can see, Gina's been on me about giving her a pay raise, by the way, for this camera work. So
yeah, comment below if you think I need a raise.
But anyway, you can see how we got the hole filled back in with dirt and got it all leveled out pretty smooth. Now we can plant that winter round here, kind of give it a base, I guess, before we actually plant the real grass. But, you know, my bucket has a smiley face in it, right? Some of you made a comment on that in some other videos, not in the last one, but in some other videos. So I want to show you how I'm going to fix that today. So come over here, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to talk to you about the Titan cutting bar that I got, or cutting edge. Oh, what's the technical term? Cutting bar, cutting edge? I can't remember. So anyway, I got the bucket took off my tractor. You can see that it's got a smiley face in it. You know, it kind of dips in the middle. Well, I'm going to fix that with a 3/4 inch cutting bar that we're going to weld onto it. So check this out. I'm telling you, this thing weighs a ton, solid. And so we're going to get that. We're going to go over to my buddy's house. He's got a heavy-duty welder. I just got a little wire welder, a little 110 wire welder. I don't think it's enough to kind of handle that. Oh, and by the way, I don't know how to weld. Like
there's that.
Yeah, so there is that, right? So, but anyway, so let's go over there. Let's get this cutting bar put on, weld it onto my bucket. That's going to straighten it out. I'll be able to back drag it a little smoother. I'll be able to, you know, get some more stumps and more dirt up with that cutting bar, and my bucket won't be as bowed. Okay, so let's take off. We finally made it over to Brandle's house. This is my neighbor Brandle. What's going on, buddy? So,
all right, how you doing?
Good. So Brandle, we're neighbors and we're buddies. So I said, hey, dude, can you help me out, man? And so since he's a master welder, he was like, yeah, man, come on over. And because he's seen some of the bubblegum splatter that I put on some of my stuff before. So anyway, so tell me, what's the plan? What we're going to do? How we're going to get this thing worked out?
All right, so we want to take the smiley face out.
That's right.
And we want to just make it just a regular, just a contented face at this point, you know? So I've got a jig that I've made. We're going to take maybe 1 bottle jack, maybe 2 bottle jacks.
Okay.
Try to take the bend out.
Gotcha.
Once we get the bend out, then we'll go ahead and put the cutting edge up, and kind of get it clamped into place, and then we'll just burn it in. And hopefully everything will be perfect.
So we're going to, I got the cutting edge from Titan, palletforks.com. I'll leave the description below. You can go check those out. They're fairly cheap. Mine's 3/4 inch. I think it's 72 or 74.
Inexpensive, not cheap.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's inexpensive. Yeah, definitely not cheap. That thing's thick as it can be. Yeah. But anyway, so we're going to unload this thing with the Coyote 4010, if it will.
I think that the old CK 4010 with the KL 4010 loader can make quick work of it.
Yeah. So anyway, I've been dying to get over here and do some work on this Coyote with Brandle anyway. So we're gonna get this thing unloaded, get it fixed, make it contentious. Is that the word you used a while ago?
Contented.
Because that's a big word for me. I don't know.
You know.
So,
you didn't go to Florida State.
I did not go to Florida State. That's true. I went to UCLA. So
oh, there you go.
That's right. The upper corner of Lower Alabama.
That's it.
I love that joke.
That's it.
All right, so let's get it. Let's get the bed out, or the bucket out, and let's get this thing welded up. What we're going to try first is we're going to put the bottle jack under where the bend is. We run these chains to set against this I-beam that we got down here, and then as you lift or put pressure onto the bottle jack, these chains will produce tension or tighten up and prevent the bucket from raising, and that's going to hopefully get this smiley face out of there. What size is that bottle jack?
This one is a 30-ton, I believe.
Yeah.
Like I say, it was an antique in the 80s, so.
I believe the children are our
We'll
future.
see. That's it.
I see it already moving.
We'll see what it does. The jack. It's taking too much force or too much movement for the jack to take all the tension up out of the chain. So we'll just take a couple come-alongs, wrap around, and just get rid of all that tension immediately.
Yeah, so you always got to make sure that you got, you know, try things at first, and you know, if you got an idea in your head, try that, and if that doesn't work, go to plan B. There's nothing wrong with that. You got to do it the most efficient and most effective way possible to get the desired outcome of the project you're doing. So,
And watch a YouTube video. It saves you the trouble of trying something that don't work.
Yeah, that's right.
Let other people make your mistakes.
That's right.
That in and of itself is kind of pulling.
I know, right? There you go.
So we took a little bit of the pressure off, and we can still see, even after that overcorrection, that we've still got a good bow in it. So pretty much what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of walk the gap, essentially. So since I've already kind of worked it here, I'll probably come maybe right here to try to work the bow from there, and just kind of take it step by step and see what we can get out of it.
So what we've been doing is we're trying to overcorrect this. We're trying to overcorrect this bucket so that you know, it comes back to level, so to speak. So we've tried different jacks and we've tried different approaches, and we're going to let this sit for about 15 minutes or so to kind of get the bend into it that we want, try to level it out the way we want. And then what we'll do is we'll try to attach the cutting bar to it. And if that don't work, we'll actually put the cutting bar on and try to tack weld it on, or weld it from one side and start to the other side. So go to left or right or whatever the case may be. Of course, we'll have to take the bucket off for that, but you know, we'll show you that process. But it's coming along, you know, it's you know, the first time we've ever done this before, you know, so we're trying to figure out exactly the best way to do it. And so I think we're getting it. And so we'll show you the final product here in a sec. All right, so we've let this set for about 10-15 minutes. So Brandle's we're gonna take these off and let's see how it does here. It's a long process, but it's still, you know, once we get it right, it'll be done, you know.
It's close. It's not perfect, but I think that's going to get it to where that the cutting edge will weld pretty comfortably. What we can do is we can take some C-clamps to it, clamp it from both ends, maybe a couple in the middle, maybe 4 C-clamps, and that should hold pretty well, so that we can get it tacked into position, get it nice and level, and then yeah, just go from there. I feel pretty good about it.
So let me ask you a question. When are we, at what point do we put the duct tape on it?
I mean, that's really any time, you know, just whenever you feel comfortable.
Now that we got everything removed from the bucket, what we're going to do now is we've got the cutting edge here. We're going to grind the corners of them, kind of make for a nice surface area for the weld to take hold of, and then we will get to laying this thing to the bucket, man. I think we're almost done.
The factory weld, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get this weld ground flat so that we can get a nice flush fit up between the old edge and the new edge.
All right, now that what he did was took a grinder to it, got all this surface rust off of here. You don't want to keep that rust in between the new blade and the old blade, or the old edge. And so, you know, we've got it really flush here. I say we, Brandel got it, and then took the surface rust on it, because that stuff will eventually work its way through if you don't take care of it now. All right, so let's get this bucket off the tractor and let's get it properly set up to get this cutting edge slacked on. That cutting edge is 6 foot long, 3/4 inch thick, so it's a chunk of metal. All right, look how we've got this. Look how flush that is. Really nice job. Really good job, Brandel.
Thanks. That's from that professional welding experience.
I told you he was a professional. And then, of course, we have this side as well. And so we got the nice flush edge there. And then across the top. Sorry about the shadow, but nice and level. It's going to work out great. What he's doing here is he's grinding some clean spots for his magnet. Now this is kind of cool. This is the magnet that he's going to attach for his grounding. That's cool. I've never seen that before. Mine is mine looks like a jumper cable switch, almost, jumper cable clamp, I guess you'd say, on my grounding on my little welder that I got. So what?
Not have to
I thought you said you was a professional.
Super excited for my YouTube debut, and really wanted to just get into the welding really quickly. So what I did is I actually forgot to turn on the gas for the MIG welder. So when you're MIG welding, gas is super important. That's where the MIG comes from. You can do wire feed welding without gas, but that's not what we're doing. When you try to do it, you can see here what happens. All of these little dots are impurities in the weld. So what the gas does is the gas goes in and blows all of the impurities out. If you're stick welding, the stuff on the outside of the rod is what does that for you. If you're doing wire welding without gas, that's flux core, so that blows that impurity out. Or MIG welding, which stands for metal inert gas, that actually kind of keeps the weld pure, kind of puts a little cone around it. So because I was excited for my YouTube debut on the famous Hank Hamilton's Hamiltonville Farms, I forgot to turn my gas on. So you can see all these dots, those are all impurities. So what we'll do is I've ground it out a little bit right now. I'll grind it out further and just start over again, actually with gas this time. So it'll look a whole lot better.
So we got this thing welded up here. Check it out. We done some 7-inch long stitch welding across here. Brandel, you did good, buddy.
I appreciate it.
Not bad for a blind guy.
I know, right? After the first one, I know you had your doubts. So I figured that I'd come out in the end.
Yeah, let's see. I can't really get up underneath there, but y'all get the gist of it here. Let me see if I can get a better shot of that. But well, it don't matter. But anyway, so we got the stitch welding going on here, 7-inch wide, with the Lincoln Electric MIG welder that we had there. So it was good. It was good stuff. So what do you think, man? Should we go ahead and wrap this thing up?
Yeah, I think so. I think that I think it ought to hold pretty well. Yeah. Like I say, if you have any problems with it, you know where I am.
Yeah, so. Yeah. So I doubt it very seriously. All right, let's get this thing wrapped up. All right, so during the process we did you know, we had to maneuver a couple things here and there and get it working right. But I'm telling you, this new cutting edge is going to do great for me. And so I really appreciate you just helping me out like this. You know, that's what good neighbors are for. You know, once we figured out exactly where we wanted to set it.
I think that,
yeah. So it's a new word I just made up. So
UCLA education.
So once we figured out where we wanted to set it, and then we got it all positioned right and used the jacks like we talked about earlier in the video, and got the weld put on, it worked out pretty good. I think it's going to do great for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And that 3/4 cutting edge, I think it's going to be perfect and last for a long time. So I think you did great.
Yeah, well, I know you did great. So anyway, hey, listen, as always, there's going to be this little barn pop up over here. If you click on that, it'll take you to our subscribe page. We'd appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. Turn that little bell on for notifications. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one. You guys take care.